Okay, y'all, part 2. We are going to pack for camp. All right, now this is where we need to take a little bit of time to think through what you're gonna want there. It is a full week and you are gonna be away from home. There is no Walmart, so you can't just go run and get something if you need it. So we wanna make sure that you have everything packed and ready. So I'm gonna go through kind of the basic list and then you guys are gonna be on your own to do the rest. Now, this is probably my 14th year to go to camp, and I've sent both my kiddos every year. So I know kind of some tips and tricks that I'm gonna hopefully show you along the way. So first things first, I definitely want you to have your Bible. If you don't have one, let me know. We've got plenty at church, so there is no reason why you need to go out and buy one. Just basic Bible. It doesn't have to be any specific version. I think this one is NIV, but you can get whatever you need. So Bible, notebook. This is literally Paris's. She just would keep notes in here, and she has a little bookmark in here. This is not a must. It's just something to have so that when you're doing Bible study, you can take notes if you want. I'd also very much recommend you take a pen because you'll probably want to be doing some writing, and camp has them, but they're not always going to be the best. So Bible notebook for your Bible studies. That's the whole reason why we're going to church camp, right? So make sure that's packed. Next most important thing is your water bottle. This is also Paris's from a couple years ago. She used this one because it has this nifty little handle here. You are going to be carrying around your water everywhere. This is supposed to be the hottest summer on record. So please, please, please stay hydrated. There's water bottle refill stations all around camp, so don't get nervous about having to have water bottles with you like the actual plastic bottles. You'll just need a water bottle that you can hang on to. Some of these even have the carabiner style little carabiner things that you can hang on. That's great too if it can clip to your belt or to whatever, your backpack. This is a great thing to have. The one that I use that I love most is this, it's called a spritzer bottle. It says like O2 Cool. You can get these at Academy for not too expensive. It does still have the little handle, but it has a mister. So this little thing actually sprays mist from the water inside, and then you can also drink it. That's what helps me stay cool at camp, and I love carrying these around because they're pretty lightweight. So that's a great thing to have. If you don't have the money to go buy one, don't worry about it. You can just bring a regular water bottle, whatever works, that's fine. The other thing I was gonna show you is, this is what I call a camel pack. This is something that I also recommend. If you happen to have one, you don't have to go buy one, but if you happen to have one, these are great. They actually have your little water spout right here, and there's what they call a bladder in the back, and you can put your water in there. And let's see if I can open mine and show you. This is a really excellent little thing to have because camp has spaces for you to fill these up. And so you can actually, why can I not find the zipper? Here we go. You can actually fill these guys up around camp. This is the little tube, and then it attaches to a bag that you literally fill with water. And this is handy dandy because it has all the pockets in it. So you can carry around your flashlight, your Bible, whatever you want to put in it. So these are great. They're called camel packs. You can get them at Walmart. Buy the cheapest one they have. You don't have to spend a lot of money. If you don't want to carry around a backpack, that's no big deal. Most kids just carry their water bottle. Okay, so that leads me on to what you're going to need to have on you on a kind of continual basis. You're always going to want a flashlight. Even during the day, I would recommend have this somewhere with you because there are parts of camp that get pretty dark. If it's rainy or whatever, just it's nice to have a flashlight. I buy these little dinky ones at the Dollar Tree. They will last just for that week. The battery goes in the back and they're lightweight. A lot of kids at camp will carry these little lanterns around. These are actually from Camp Lone Star. I want to say they're like $20 at the TP, but when you lift them, you got the light. Ooh, that's bright. These are great because they have the little handles, and when they go for night walks or when we go to evening worship, you can carry this around. That's something you can buy at TP if you don't want to go buy one. The other thing that you always want to have on hand is this? This is gonna be your best friend at camp. This is your bug spray. Parents, I would recommend you go to Walmart and go to the travel section. They're gonna have these little ones that they can carry around, and then your sunblock. This is a roll-on sunblock, and I know that seems really weird, but I'm gonna tell you why this is important. Kiddos don't, when they use the spray ones, the aerosol ones, they never ever work. The kids will just spray it and then they don't rub it in and it doesn't stay on their skin. So please, parents, don't send the aerosol ones. I know they're cheap and everything, but you can get these in the travel section. And like I said, they'll actually stay on the kid, and these are great for the face. Before you send them, show them how to properly apply sunblock, because the counselors are not in charge of doing that. They're not supposed to, you know, be messing with the kids in that way. The kids are in charge of their own sunblock and their own bug spray. So show them how to do that properly. With the bug spray, I always say definitely get your feet and the bottom parts of your legs, because camp has ticks and there are all sorts of other bugs out there. So this is a really good thing to have on hand all the time, travel ones. If you want to, you can also send your kiddo with a very small, I don't have the small one, but you can get the small one of the aloe vera. That way, in case they do get sunburned, they've got something. The medic will have this too, so don't worry if you can't find it. To keep cool, it is hot. The kids are out all day from sunup to sundown. They're gonna be outside. They will have an hour of what we call FOB time, which is flat on your back. And that is time for them to rest in the cabins. That's during the heat of the day. It's usually around 2 or 3. FOB time is a quiet time. They can take a nap, they can read their Bible. They'll just be able to rest on their bunk. But it's a time for them to just kind of decompress for the day, because it's a long day and you're out in the heat the whole time. Because of that, I want to share with you a couple of things that I've found along the way. You can buy these at the Dollar Tree, again, dollar store. These are like cooling bandanas. All you have to do is just wet it under the sink. So the kids will have bathrooms in their cabins. They can wet these and then they can wear them around the neck, and it keeps you cool all day long. You can wear it as a headband if you're a girl. These things are amazing. So I love those. For $15, you can buy one of these at Walmart. It's this little, like, literal air conditioner that you can walk around with. This one even has like colors on it. Got the fancy one. But these things are great if you want to buy one of those. They'll come in handy for the rest of your life. So just think of it as an investment, because we live in Texas. But this thing is great. You turn it on, it blows cool air. Just kind of keeps you cooler during the day. But honestly, the cheap version is the cooling bandanas. They're amazing. Like I said, Walmart, dollar store, you can find all those things. Okay, so that's the stuff you're gonna wanna always carry around with you. If you are concerned about shoes or what they're wearing on their feet, let me just give you some kind of hints. Crocs are amazing out at camp. That's all Paul ever wore. He would just wear Crocs all day, every day. The only thing you really can't wear Crocs for is when you go to the lake. For the lake, you will need actual water shoes that have the elastic, because in the lake, you will lose your Crocs in 2 seconds. So make sure you do have a pair of water shoes. And then if you want to wear Crocs as your regular shoe, that's amazing. The one thing with Crocs is most people don't wear socks with them, and then you have more chances of getting chiggers and ticks and that kind of thing. So be forewarned on that. If you wear tennis shoes, that's great. Just wear an old pair. Don't buy brand new tennis shoes for camp, because brand new tennis shoes are going to come back looking really rough. So I recommend wear some old shoes you don't care about. This is not a fashion show. This is just enjoying nature. So wear some comfortable shoes. And then also what you're going to want to do is make sure that your kiddos are well packed. And I'm going to give you the best tip I ever was given by a friend of mine. She had been sending her kiddos to camp for forever. And her suggestion was to take these gallon-sized Ziploc bags and write down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday on the bags. And then you're going to put your kiddos' clothes in here. So that's going to be every piece of clothing they're going to wear on Monday. So that's socks, underwear, shirt, shorts. Okay. The great thing about these is you can really get all the air out and kind of like suction them, and then they pack super well. This will help your kiddo because, again, counselors are not in charge of getting them dressed and you're not there to tell them what to wear. So you can pick out what they're wearing for the day, make sure it looks decent, and also they won't get unorganized. They'll know exactly what they need to wear. It takes them 2 seconds. They'll get first in the showers, which they're gonna be really happy about. So just make sure you have them packed like this. I also would recommend that you pack their bathing suit and their sunblock or bug spray or both, and their goggles all in one bag. I always label it swim stuff because this bag will be able to be used when they're done with their swimsuit. They can put it in here wet and it doesn't matter. It's a plastic bag. It will keep the wet clothes from the dry clothes, because let me just tell you, my kids will just throw it all in the same suitcase and then all their dry clothes are now wet. So this is a great thing to have. I would recommend send them with goggles. Most of the kids get really sad if they don't have goggles in the pool, even if they're not swimming in the deep end, which we'll get to that in a minute. Still send them with goggles. You can get them at the Dollar Tree. You don't have to buy fancy ones, but they really love having the goggles. And like I said, you can put their sunblock in their bug spray in one bag, and that way you can tell them, hey, when you're done with your sunblock and bug spray, put it back in this bag, and they'll keep track of where it is, because they'll lose those things like super, super quick. Okay, next thing, bedding. All right, so camp has bunk beds, and they will get pics of their bunks, so you can get top or bottom. If we can get there early enough, hopefully they'll have first pics so they can get what they want. Okay, back from intermission. What you need to pack for the bunk beds. As I was saying, the bunks are not the most comfortable thing in the world. Just be prepared. They are used by all the counselors and all the kids all summer long. They are cleaned and sanitized, so you don't have to worry about that, but you are required to bring your own bedding. So what you're going to want to do, and this is how I pack, this has worked for me for many years, you're going to want to take your kiddo's pillow, because they will need to bring a pillow, and use the pillowcase as kind of like your luggage for this, okay? In the pillowcase, you're going to want to have their sheet. They will need a twin flat sheet and a twin fitted sheet. If they don't sleep with the flat, that's fine. My kiddos don't, so you don't have to have the flat, but the fitted is the most important. That's what's gonna go on the mattress. They do have to have that because they have a few at camp, but they've been used a lot. I wouldn't recommend. I would just want my own stuff. So take the bedding off of your kid's bed and just use that. Fold it up and put it in your kiddo's pillowcase. The other thing you're gonna want in there is their towel. I usually send my kids with 2 towels. I send them with one that's kind of like a beach towel and then one that's more like a bathing towel. And I stick them both in the pillow because when we get to camp, it's a mad dash to the cabins, picking bunks, and you're gonna wanna throw everything on the bed and have them ready to go. If you aren't coming, that is okay. Either myself or Rory will be able to help them to get their bedding made, or their counselor will help them. So they're not gonna be like scrambling and scared or whatever. They'll have somebody there helping them. This will just make it so much easier because they don't have to dig in their suitcase. They'll just have everything right in their pillowcase and they can pull it out, put it on their bunk. So again, that's a fitted sheet, a flat sheet, a pillow with a pillowcase, and then 1 to 2 towels, right? They'll have places on their bunk where they can hang their towels. I would recommend telling your kids, make sure to hang your towels after you use them because that way they dry and they're not gonna be like smelly or gross. There's no laundry, so they're using the same towel over and over again. So just let them know they do need to let them dry and not just throw them crumpled on the floor because then they're gonna have to use a wet towel and that's really gross. So just let them know that's a really good thing to keep up with. Like I said, at the end of the bunks, there's bars and they can hang their towels and let them dry. The counselors will remind them of this, but you know, better safe than sorry. You can go ahead and pre-warn them about that. Again, that's how you're gonna pack the bedding, all in one little lump sum. If they want to have a blanket with them, like a thicker blanket, I would recommend sending one even if your kid's hot-natured because the counselors turn that AC up at night and it can get really chilly. There's no real monitoring of the temperature in the cabin. So if your kiddo is especially cold-natured, then definitely pack another extra blanket, a thick one preferably, that way they can cuddle up. Do not even attempt to pack a sleeping bag. I know it says that on the packing list, but sleeping bags are horrible because the mattress is plastic and they will just move around on the mattress and your kid won't get any sleep. So avoid the sleeping bag. Okay guys, here is part 3, and I promise you we're almost over. I just wanted to give you a couple of bits of information for you parents specifically about how to take care of some of the more important parts of camp, which are going to be the things that Rory and I are going to be in charge of. So first thing is medicine, okay? Your kiddos probably take vitamins. They probably have some sort of medicine that they may be on. If it's ADHD medicine, or if it's maybe something for a cold or whatever, they're going to have some sort of medicine that they're going to need to bring to camp. There's a couple of things I recommend. Always send your kiddo with a little bit of children's Tylenol, and I would always send your kiddo with some sort of allergy medication like Zyrtec or Zysol. We've got Zysol in here. My kids in particular have a lot of like skin stuff, so I always send them with like a thing of Afterbite or extra strength hydrocortisone cream, because they are not allowed to have these things in their bags with them. So they can't just administer that stuff to themselves. Of course, that's a danger to them and to the other cabin mates. So no medicine will be allowed to be kept in the cabin. Do not worry if your kid's on a crazy medicine schedule, because the medic will keep up with that. And when you register your child, you will be asked to specify the amount, the weight of the medicine. It will ask about like how many milligrams they take. It will ask about the dose when they take it. Your kid's counselor will have a schedule of what kid takes what when, and they will go to the medic during that time to have the medicine given to them. So don't think that your child is going to have to be off of their medicine schedule. That is not the case. Camp is amazing about this. And Paris will actually be in the medic. That's where she's going to be officing out of. So Paris will be in there. She'll be able to see them, check in with them once a day, make sure they're doing good. If your kiddos are on vitamins and you don't want them to stop, you can send the vitamins. Just make sure that in the registration online, you are filling that out as specific as possible, and then you're going to want to take all the medicines that you're sending with the doses the way that they're given and put them all into a Ziploc bag with your child's name on it, okay? This is going to be turned in at the time when we register, and what I will do is I'll have a little ice cooler bag that I'll put all the medicine in, and that way if it needs to be kept cold, it's fine. It will stay in that bag with me until we get to registration, and then I will present all of that to the medic and we will double check. They'll actually take every medicine out and make sure they know how to administer it for your child. If you have any extra notes that you want to include, you can write it on a piece of paper, stick it in that Ziploc bag. Super, super important. Okay, so that's medicine. Mail. Every day at around 3 o'clock, they're gonna do mail call at camp. It's a huge, exciting time at camp because the kids get a little taste of home. So if you are wanting to send your child with mail, which I would highly, highly recommend, my kiddos that don't get mail, literally, they get their feelings hurt, they get very upset, a lot of them get homesick and sad. So please, if you can, take the time out, even if it's just a quick little card, I love you, with a sticker or something on it, please try to send them some mail. You can mail it to camp. The address is located on your registration packet. I'm going to give it to you now. I'll actually put it, when I edit this video, I'll put it down here. It's Camp Lone Star with a little hyphen, and then your child's name and session 2, because we are week 2. Then you're going to write 2016 Camp Lone Star Road, LaGrange, Texas 78945. The kiddo's name and the session is what's key, okay? Because that's going to be how they determine which mail goes to which session, okay? My preference is not to mail it because you have no idea if the mail's gonna get there on time or not. So my preference is you pre-write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even Friday letters to your children, and then you give them to me when we leave. And if you do that, all you have to do is write your kiddo's name, first and last name, and you do have to put last name, by the way, because it's not me sending the mail out, it's the counselor. So kiddo's first and last name, and then like day 1 or Monday. And then kiddo's first and last name, day 2, Tuesday. And then I will take that whole big old stack to the medic, and I will actually put it into the mail baskets so that your child will get mail. Just so you know, you don't have to tell the kids this, but Rory and I will be writing them letters too, okay? That's just between us. So that's mail. Please, please, please send your kiddos with mail. You can you can send packages, but I would recommend you keep that to a minimum because the other kids in the cabin will get kind of jealous. A lot of times they'll take some of the stuff and then all of a sudden your kid has nothing. So if you want to send them with like a little care package of stickers or colors or something, that's fine. I wouldn't send them with anything major because again, it does kind of tend to create some jealousy. The counselors are pretty good about watching all that, but just know that. And feel free, if you want to send them a Bible passage or a memory verse or something awesome like that, get creative. You can color them a picture or you can put stickers on it or whatever you want to do. Just make it super fun. It's a little piece of home for them. Okay, this is also for you parents. I will need a copy of the front and back of your child's insurance card or your insurance card. And I will keep that on record. Rory and I will have that with us throughout the week so that if anything were, God forbid, we would have insurance. Now, just so you know, there is a medic on staff at all times. Even at night, there is a medic that is there on staff. However, we do not have somebody at night that's like a qualified nurse. We just have students that are medics. So if anything were to happen with your child where they need medical attention or God forbid they have a bite and they need EpiPen or whatever, there is a hospital literally like 2 miles from camp, and they know camp quite well. And so we would take the child there if anything were to happen overnight. So please do not stress over that. There are plenty of ways for us to take care of your children. If your child has an EpiPen, that's just another thing I needed to mention. Send it with them, of course, label it, put it in that bag of medicine, and then the medic will have that on hand. So if God forbid they needed it, they would have that. Same with inhalers, that will all be kept at the medic's tent. Or if your child has to have it on them at all times, it will be kept with the counselor, okay? But that all needs to go in your little medicine bag, okay? All right, cabin assignments. So you don't really get to choose who your kid goes with. The camp will choose who your child's counselor is, and we'll put them in a cabin with children of their same sex and age, okay? So girls with girls, boys with boys, and they will be put in the same age group. If you have a kiddo that's going to camp that you know and you want to make sure your son or daughter is in that cabin with them, then at the registration online on the CampWise account, you can actually specify that child as a cabin mate. You will need to know the parent's email address that they used to register their child. So if Paul wanted to be in a cabin with, let's say, his buddy Liam, I would need to know what email my friend Amanda is using to register Liam with. And then I would put that Liam's name and that email into the registration online, and then they will be matched as cabin mates. That's about the only way you get some opportunity to place your child in a certain cabin. Other than that, God's got this. He's going to pick out who goes where, and we've never had a bad counselor. We've never had a bad group of kiddos. My kids have always just been blessed with amazing kids and amazing counselors. So I don't foresee any problems there. Check-in is going to be at 3:30 on Sunday. We will arrive as a group and check in as a group. If you are coming with your child, you will walk through that process with us, and then you will take your child to their cabin and meet their counselor. If you do not have the time to go on Sunday, you don't want to go on Sunday, you just want to send your kiddo, that is fine. Rory and I will be there to walk them through that process, so do not feel obligated to be with us. However, I would say if you can, and again, this is not mandatory, but if you can, please try to be there for closing ceremonies on Friday. It's from 10:45 to 11:30. It's in what they call the Cope Center. They do what they call CMVs, or Christian music videos, and it's an opportunity for your child to showcase what they learned all throughout the week. They usually put on a little performance, and then they read scripture, and then they talk about what that scripture meant to them, and it is in front of the entire camp. If your kid's super shy, don't worry about it. The counselors will work with the group to pick who's going to do the presentation, but they will all be up doing the music video portion of it. It's a lot of fun. It's an opportunity for you as a parent to hang out with your child. They will have a cookout that day. You can come and get a hamburger. You can hang out with your kiddo, and that's when the Trading Post closes, so you'll be able to go hit Trading Post one last time if you want to get any kind of souvenirs. So that leads me to Trading Post. What is Trading Post? Okay, they like to call it TP. Sounds crazy because I know you're thinking toilet paper, but no, this is Trading Post. Think back to the olden days, okay? Trading Post is kept in the center of camp. It is staffed by counselors throughout the day. They will have time on their schedule for Trading Post. It's usually after pool time because the counselors know that once they get in the pool and they get in the water, they get hungry. So they usually go to Trading Post either before or after pool time. The best thing about Trading Post is that it's very cheap and inexpensive treats, okay? They sell t-shirts, they sell mugs, they sell stuffed animals, they sell the little lanterns that I was showing you that say Camp Lone Star on them. They sell literally everything you can. It's like a little mini Walmart. Except for it's just for the kids. They love it because they get to spend money and act like an adult. I would recommend that when you register your child, you put anywhere from $30 to $40 of TP money in their account. You can use a credit card to do that. You can pay it with check. You can give the money to me and Rory, however you want to do it. I would do that for each child, that they have that amount on there because they will be able to use that at Trading Post time. Their counselor will take them, they'll line them up. Each child will go up and tell the people there what they want from Trading Post. Normally it's a soda and a snack. Sometimes the kids just want a soda, but they get to pick. They have sodas, they have Gatorade, they have waters, they have healthy snacks, they have unhealthy snacks. Just warning you, some of them are unhealthy. But it's their opportunity to pick what they want. My kiddo was always a Dr. Pepper and sour straws. So whatever they want, they get to pick. They'll have that little snack time and that downtime with their cabin at that point. Trading Post is covered, so even if it's raining, they're still at Trading Post. They have seating outside. They will get to do that every day. So please, if you have any questions about Trading Post money and how that works, let me know. Whatever's left over at the end of camp, you can either donate to camp for their nonprofit that they actually always support, or you can take that money home with you. If they have Trading Post money left over, Rory and I will have that for you on Friday when you come to pick up your child. We will have all that already ready for you. If they have Trading Post money that's left over and they want to use that to buy a t-shirt, I highly recommend that. I have a camp t-shirt from every year I've been there. It's such an awesome thing to have, and the kids can use that as a really cool way, honestly, to evangelize, because people will say, well, what's Camp Lone Star? And they'll say, oh, it's church camp, and they'll get into a conversation. So please, 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 even if you don't want to put money on there for snacks, I totally understand that, but please maybe just plan about $25 on there for them to get a camp t-shirt at the end. Promise you, if you don't have money for that, don't stress, because if your kiddo doesn't have money and they really, really want a camp t-shirt, we will make that happen, okay? So please don't worry about that. But if you have the extra money and you want to do that, that's a really awesome thing, because again, we've had every camp t-shirt from every year. My kids' closet, I think I have probably 40 camp t-shirts, and we've used them to make blankets and everything else. So really, really awesome. The camp t-shirts always have the theme, and they always have a verse usually on them somewhere. So again, really great thing for the kids to take home with them. Lastly, payments. If you have not paid the rest of the amount that you owe, do not stress. But we will need that a little sooner than I had originally told you, because unfortunately they've changed things this year. Camp is no longer accepting final payments on the day of registration. They are now asking 2 weeks in advance. So if you could turn in the rest of your money that you owe to the church, you will need to write a check out to Gathering. You can write Gathering Lutheran Church or Gathering, and in the memo line just put camp registration. And you can either give that to myself, to Rory, or you can put it in the donation box. And if it's even easier, you can also do it on the online giving and just call or text myself or Rory and say, I put it on the online giving, so that we can let our treasurer Mike know that it's been taken care of. The payments, of course, are to cover all of the things that your kiddo does during camp. If you are like looking at it and you're like, there's no way I can afford this, please let us know, because that is what the camperships are available for. And I promise you, I have had to take advantage of that before, because it just does get so costly, and we do not ever want money to be an issue when you're sending your children to camp. This is supposed to be amazing, and this is supposed to be a blessing, and we want your kid there regardless of your financial situation, regardless of what you can or can't pay. God is going to take care of that, and we have been blessed with a really amazing supportive church that would want your child to go. So money is not an object in this case. Isn't that fun? So just know that, okay? If you have any questions, I know this is a lot, you are going to be getting a whole list of registration information. It has FAQs on there. It has information about the address to send mail to. It has the packing list, all those things. My last little bit of information about any other questions that you have, email me, text me, let me know. We will get that taken care of as soon as possible. Thank you and God bless. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to see you guys at camp. Bye, y'all.